The Pandora Ichthyovenator is an upcoming mod, and today I've been given access to it to show to you all. Now, do bear in mind this is a work in progress mod. It's about, as we'd say, 80% complete, and there are several things that are being reworked with it. For example, some of the animations that will be shown today, like the idle animation, the walking animation, the swimming animation, are all going to be reworked, as well as the calls for the baby. Nevertheless, we will be showcasing the model, the skins, the subspecies, and everything like that. We won't be showcasing the attacks or abilities today. We'll save that for a release showcase. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. This is the Ichthyovenator by Pandora. There are two Ichthyovenators coming. You've got ABloodOfADraco's Ichthyovenator, and you've got the Pandora one. This is the Pandora one, as I've mentioned. It comes with 8 species. You've got Laucensis, which is the first one, which is plus 3% attack damage. You've got Cretus, which is plus 5% health. Muted, which is plus 20% bleed damage. This one has a bigger spine compared to the other two and has less of a spine dip. Then you've got Cloeza, which is plus 10% health recovery. You've got Spinus, which is plus 10% grounded damage. Sukos, which is plus 20% faster cooldowns, which is based on Suchomimus. You've got Barry, which is based on Baryonyx and has 5% damage while wet. Then you've got Fatty, which is plus 5% armor. Let's go ahead and check it out in game, shall we? So here we have the baby Ichthyovenator, and as I've said, there are some stuff that are being reworked. For example, the idle animation, you will see it snapping every now and then, and that is something that they are aiming to fix with the rework for the animation. You saw it there. There's a little bit of snap in that animation. Now, this is the baby, and this thing is absolutely adorable. He's a little cute guy, and if you really want to make him even smaller, let's set his growth to 0. And you've got a little teeny tiny baby who's about the same size as this rat shader. But, of course, yeah, this is the Ichthyovenator. This is it as a hatchling if we just set it back to its normal growth, which would be juvenile. This is what it looks like. And I love the baby skin. It's nice and simple. It's dark green with some black and some then dark green splotches on it and bright blue eyes. It comes with a standard bite attack when you spawn in, and that's going to be the only attack I showcased to you all today. We don't have a test dummy today or anything like that. For your locomotion, you've got your walk, which this is going to be reworked. It's also the precise movement as well, which you can have a look at here. You've also got your trot, which is a little bit faster than the walk. And then you have your sprint for the baby as well. Now, the turning and everything looks like this too. If I'm hopefully going to have some replay footage of the turning. And then you get your other locomotion stuff, which is obviously your sitting, your sleeping. Now, do bear in mind, this is the first ever mod that the Pandora team are making. This is the first one for this team. It's a very new team for Panthertines who are quite ambitious. This guy also swims. Straight away, he's able to dive, and you're swimming. The swimming itself is going to be reworked as well. And I would suspect that maybe the sitting and the sleeping will too, because it is a little bit stiff. But yeah, as I said, the locomotion for this is good. It's definitely good for a team's first time entering the game. And it's good that this thing gets a dive straight away. I think in the mod's description, it said it's a T3 carnivore, which I would assume means that this is a 3-slot carnivore. It's probably got the size of a 2-slot, however. But yeah, it definitely fits as a 2-slot. And it's already better than Concavenator since it can dive straight away. Anyways, these are the baby's calls. Now, before I do them, do bear in mind that they obviously are going to be reworked. So this is like the pre-rework baby calls. adult of this mod is absolutely gorgeous. I'm a big fan of it. Now, this looks distinctly like similar to the other Ichthyovenator mod, but the big difference is the texturing and the detail, the level of detail and everything like that. And that's where it does definitely look different than the other one. This will also probably be a standout compared to the abilities, because there are a lot of abilities here. Now, we're not going to be going over all of them, and we're not going to be showcasing any of them, so I'm not going to be talking about them. But you've got, like, you know, stuff like that. You got Stomp, but there's only one slot there, so there's definitely still a lot of things to go. You get Nictating Membrane, and you get Ravenous as passives, and, you know, we can go on further with that, but that's not what we're talking about. We're just specifically showing the models off. Now, Ichthyovenator itself is a very, very nice dinosaur. Obviously, the walking animation is something that's set to be reworked. You've got the actual walk there, the slow walk, and then you've got the trot animation as well, unless I've done it wrong. This should be the right animation to showcase. Then obviously you've got your sprint. So it's not the fastest guy in the world, but obviously I feel like this is built to be more of a semi-aquatic. And honestly, let's see how it performs in the land. But first, in the water, as I would say. But first, here is the sit down and sleep as an adult. Now, one thing that I have noticed, it does drift a little bit, and the sit to sleep, it kind of is a little bit buggy. So that's stuff that will probably be worked on and ironed out. So this is the sit down, then you go to sleep. And there you go, he's asleep there. But there is a little thing that I did just notice for the devs. If you do want to clock onto this, when you sit and then go straight to your sleep, it kind of just skips out the sitting part and just goes straight to it, which can be a little bit janky, of course. Once again, you get your standard bite, and that is that. And then, of course, we go in the water. Now, this guy cannot jump as an adult. He could jump as a baby, but he can't jump as an adult. And in the water we go. Now, I'm just swimming slowly here. I'm not sprinting, but this is like the slow swim. It's a decent little swim. It's nothing to write home about, but it gets the job done. And obviously, around the fishies. The fishies are going to run away from you, but they're a little bit delayed. And you can still catch them as that, and you can eat them as well. We'll showcase proper eating animations in a moment, but that's it with a fishy. We'll get another fish and showcase that again if I can catch the fishies. But yeah, the swimming in the water is not too bad. The turning feels a little bit heavy, but once again, it's a work in progress, and it's likely that a lot of the stats are gonna be changed as things go, especially movement and stuff as they go through testing and stuff like that. In terms of the idle animation in the water, it's very nice, and the other water-based animations, it's very nice as well. Does it have a, like, water floor kick? No, it's just a swim at the moment. And the good thing about this one is that, like, he's kind of under the water a little bit still, which means they're harder to spot while you're swimming on the surface aside from the VFX that you're going to be getting like this. I do like it. I think it's a very nice mod. Obviously, there isn't much I can say aside from the attacks and everything, because we're not showcasing that, but we can now showcase the calls for it. So, in terms of its eating animations, these are them. So, obviously, you have the Arapama here. And this is the eating animation that you've got for it. Obviously, it's not directly eating out the body because that's just the way I've positioned it. But you get a nice clear shot of the animation there. The meat chunk kind of goes through the mouth a little bit, but I think the meat chunks in this game in general, when you're eating them, are kind of like a broken conveyor belt sometimes. That being said, we'll also showcase the drinking animation in a moment as well. Now, the other animation I wanted to showcase is the pick up. And obviously, you've got the grab and then the swallow. And then we go to the water's edge and we do a drinking animation. I actually really like this drinking animation. I think it's very smooth. It's got a nice loop to it. There is a little bit at the end where it kind of does snap a little bit. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it was just the initial one maybe being a little bit out there. That being said, another thing I do want to point out, when you're in the character menu, the tail moves around a little bit as if it's kind of like a Megalania tail. You can tell it's a little bit stiff, but what I'll show it in the creator menu. Can you show it here? Yeah, the way it moves around, it definitely feels more like the Megalania's tail than it does like any dinosaur's tail, with the way it's kind of free moving in its ragdoll sense. So in terms of the skins, it was written in the mod description that it has 30. I think I might have misread it. I'll put the description on the screen. At the moment, it has 27 from what I'm aware. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 27 there, and there's a lot to go through. They want to increase the customizability. That's why there's 8 species as well, and a lot of different color options for the skins. So the patterns, let's go into them. The first one is the default skin. We've got pattern 1, pattern 2, and pattern 3. Albino. Now do bear in mind, once again, this is a French team, so you can expect some spelling mistakes like default instead of default. You've got mudback. You've then got plage. You can see the tail moving around when I quickly done that movement there. It's more oranges and blacks. Chaos. Clouiza, which I'm assuming is named after someone on the team. Grass. Ichthyo, which I really like the skin, by the way. I love the blend of the greens, the oranges. It kind of reminds me of a gecko. Then you got Isle. We've got Jax, another gorgeous skin. I really like pattern 1. The blending there is really nice. Then you've got Killer Hunt. And then after that, you've got Broke. Melanistic, which is a very nice melanistic skin in my eyes. Dirt. Pistache, which is another really nice one. I like the blending on this one. Swamp, another gorgeous skin as well. One of my favorites, I'd say. Did I do that wrong? I did. You've got Dark. I clicked on the row below. And then you've got Fishy. Red Tail. Very vibrant. I do like this one as well. You got Tor. Volcano. Bio. Ocean. Good blend of light blues and yellows. Iguan. Blue Tail. Piranha, which is a gorgeous skin. Pattern 1, the best one out of the bunch, I think. And then Gila. Now, I think the blending here is really good in terms of you've got a lot of more out of the ordinary skins with less blending, and then you've got some well blended skins that fit together very well. I'm a big fan of it, and I think that it's, you know, it gives a lot of customizability options for players, which is the intention there. But that is all the skins so far. There might be a couple more coming as well. Now, of course, this is an upcoming mod. It's a work in progress, so do expect that there were some, you know, errors or stuff that, you know, isn't properly sorted yet, like the baby calls not being baby calls, the idle animation being reworked, the walk being reworked, and the swim being reworked. That being said, though, I'm a really big fan of this mod. It's a really nice introduction to the game. It's likely that they've still got testing to do for stats and feedback in terms of how the dinosaur works. I'd say my biggest feedback would be for the sitting and sleeping animation so far, because it feels a little stiff, especially if you were to go from, for example, just straight into sleep. It kind of T-poses a little bit and then it does it, instead of going to sit and then sleep and have sleep there. That being said, though, bear in mind, folks, this is Pandora's first mod. And I gotta say, they've done a great job with it. This team plan on bringing stuff to the game like Pteranodon, Megalodon, Titanoboa. And I can't wait to see how those ones turn out. I don't know what's next for the mod team after Ichthyovenator. I don't know when it's going to be coming. Now, do bear in mind, just because I'm showing it doesn't mean it's 1 out now or 2 coming soon. Because as we've seen with other mods, some of them aren't exactly released yet, which means, or could take a little while. So I don't want to give a false hope there that it is coming soon. You know, it's in development still, and the devs have kindly let me cover this one, and I'm a big fan of it. And shout out to the devs, the Pandora team. I'll leave the Discord links and everything in the comments down below if you guys want to go there, give them some feedback on their mod from what you've seen, and you know, go into the chat and keep up to date with their mods itself. They're a lovely team, really lovely people, and we should welcome them with open arms. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.